I have here a fun technique for a layout, and I'm really anxious to see what you all do with this technique. I need to try to use it again. I like it so much. You'll see here that I have a piece of vellum over my photo because you can see the background of the photo. But then I have some unique borders and lines. And of course my signature arrows, I put them on so many layouts to point to my son. But what this does is it takes a photo with a lot of background that is necessary to tell the story or to give a setting. So many times I don't like deleting those backgrounds because I like that they tell the setting, but yet you want to bring the eye to the focal point of the photo while keeping that background. And so this is really a great technique for that. What I'm going to do is go ahead and make a bunch of these layers invisible so that you can see only my background layer, and there are only 4 layers to make this effect. And I'm going to go ahead and delete, make invisible 3 of those, and I'm going to duplicate this layer, this photo layer, down to the bottom, so that I can recreate this so you can see how easy this really is. There's my photo. What I'm going to do first is to get my rectangular marquee tool, and I've got the ball up in the air here, and so I'm going to draw a selection around what I want to highlight out of the photo and press Ctrl J on my keyboard. And so now I have my original photo still there, but if I make it invisible, you can see the new layer with that selection cut out of the photo and put on it. I'm going to next duplicate my photo layer, and with that duplicated layer as the active layer, I'm going to go to the Edit drop-down menu. Before we do that, let's hit Control on your keyboard and click on the icon, the thumbnail in the Layers palette for the photo layer, for that duplicate photo layer. And then let's go to the Edit drop-down menu, Fill Selection, and in this Contents area, scroll down and choose 50% gray and click OK. Hit Control D on your keyboard to deselect. And now what I'm going to do is lower the opacity down to about 45, 42 I think was what was my original layer up here. And I see that my original layer was a little bit darker gray than this new layer, so you can make it a little darker and just play with the settings until you get what you want. I'm going to actually raise the opacity on this, like that 45. Okay, so now we have our photo layer, a duplicate sized layer, same as the photo, which is now in gray and turned to vellum. Of course, I'm going to add drop shadow to that piece of vellum. And we have the focal point of our photo above the vellum layer. Choose a color you want for your border, and with this focal point photo as the active layer, go to Edit, Stroke, choose a size. I have about 10 I think would be good, and put a stroke right around that photo. You can see already what a big difference that makes. of course, putting the right color stroke around the photo is going to make a big difference. You can see that I grabbed a color out of this floor so it would match. Now we have one more step because I had two borders on this photo, and I'm going to hold down my control key once again and click on this thumbnail of the focal point photo to get marching ants around it. And I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to go to the select drop down menu, modify, and contract, and I'm going to put a figure in here. Now of course you can always test and go back and forth. I have 40 as my as my pixels, which I want to contract by. If I do this and I don't like it, I can hit that undo button and test a different number until I find something that I like. But what this is going to do is make those marching ants smaller, so watch out here on the desktop. When I click OK, you'll see that they moved in, and so the selection is now in proportion with the photo. It helps to do this to make things more exact rather than grabbing my marquee tool and making another selection. This helps make it more exact. And then I'm going to go back to my stroke, and I'm still on that new layer that we made. We want to double check that, and I'm going to choose black. And once again, I'm going to actually my first border might have been better if I had it on the outside, but I don't think it really mattered. And then I'm going to add that selection, that stroke to the new layers. And so what I have here once again is 4 layers. I have my original photo layer, I have a piece of vellum over that, I have my focal point photo, and it has a border around it, and then I have a black border on a layer of its own. And so you can see, once again, I'll go back and highlight my original layout. It creates a really cool, awesome technique to a photo, and I'm really anxious to see what you guys do with this. I think it's a great technique, and have fun.